saying, like, I just tend to stay in my head way too much, and then, like, I just...
Do you think you'll ever get to the level where you can put me inside of your head and then you can hear my voice and my ideas inside of your head?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good. Because at some point I plan to talk a lot less. But
Yeah, and that's another thing, too. It's like you said you were an introvert, and I'm like, I don't see that. Where is this?
I'm absolutely an introvert, yes.
But then you also said, too, that... now I forget the exact words. When you get to a certain place in a relationship, there really doesn't need to be that much communication because you're both on the same, I don't want to say wavelength, but that's...
Same
just in the
page,
same flow,
paragraphing,
like,
sentence,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah. And I get that. Yeah.
Right, meaning that we can speak in shorthand in as much as you know that I've
Yeah, I know what you want, and
intention.
you know what I want, and it's not like this...
And above all, you know that I have your interests at heart and that largely our interests are the same. Question for you. As you know, you spend such little time having sex, even in a healthy, active relationship, right? Where do you spend maybe total 40 minutes a week having sex?
Probably on average.
Yeah? No, it's actually less than that on average. The average intercourse is 3.5 minutes. Actual fact. The country with the shortest intercourse is Turkey. So on the high end, you spend 40 minutes a week total on your back having sex. So if a man is making you satisfied emotionally, psychologically, giving you good guidance and support, and giving you all the other things that you want, but no satisfaction sexually, how does that register with you?
Well, I mean, there has to be some type of sexual compatibility. It has to be, I mean, I think that's important.
So there has to be some level of sexual compatibility. Correct yourself if you were incorrect, and I know being honest is the most difficult thing we must consistently do. My understanding, and I generally remember pretty well, you said you haven't had sex in 3 years. Mm-hmm. Is that accurate? Mm-hmm. You've not been vaginally penetrated in 3 whole years. Mm-hmm. Okay. So if that's the case, then you've gone 3 years without sex. Clearly it's not vital. If it was vital, then you wouldn't have gone 3 years.
Yeah.
Because you damn sure got me beat, right? Like, so if it's so vital, have you gone without it?
I always wanted to work on myself, and I didn't think that it was that important.
When I ask myself, like, what values a man can offer to a woman or a woman can offer to a man, like, you offer me your vagina is of almost no value. It's almost like trash, in as much as every woman has a vagina, right? So, like, you're literally giving me something that everyone can give me. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You see that why it has no value? And even if I piped you down the best you've ever been piped down, like, anyone can do that. And I'm sure there's some guys that can do it better than I can. African Americans, right? Like, these guys are competitive in this pursuit. I've never tried to be good at it, personally. So that would be offering you very little. The real richness of a relationship is in offering you something that no one can offer you or no one has offered you, which would obviously be in the psychological connection, the romantic compatibility. So for me, the sex is valued so low because it's a guarantee that everyone can give you that, right? Unless they have medical issues, you can be guaranteed the guy's going to give you some penis, but you never can be guaranteed that he's going to give you pure love, strong understanding, good emotional support, stability. Like, those are the things that are very much so in question. You don't ever have you ever questioned if a guy's going to fuck you? Have you ever questioned that seriously?
No.
No, you've never questioned that. But all the other things are variables. You're like, is he going to be honest with me? Mm-hmm. Right, so. But we've not had any conversations about those things, have we? No. So the sex thing is problematic, obviously. Like, problematic that it even comes up, problematic that there's any time spent on it, problematic that you've spoken requirements around sexual satisfaction but no requirements around anything else, even though the other things are more important.
Because I took the submissive in the wrong way.
I never said sexually. I never said
know
I want you to
didn't,
sexually
but
submit.
I interpreted it the wrong way.
So you're sex focused. You're a sex crazed animal.
No.
You are a sex crazed animal.
I can't tell when you're joking sometimes.
I might not be joking though.
But it's
a sex fiend.
no.
Okay.
If I was, then I wouldn't have gone 3 years without. Like, I don't want to.
Well, you have a significant vibrator. And for women that, especially women who are willing to live in certain ways, that's more than sufficient. And although I am a Superman, the vibrator's for sure going to do better than I'm going to do, right? On a purely anatomical level, right? Yeah. You should bring it one time, though, for sure. We should see how it works.
But I want to say this, though, that, like, to me, there's more about sex than just the actual intercourse itself. I mean, there's the emotional, there's, like, it's not just that. And that's probably why I haven't. And plus, I've also been on this whole other, if you want to call it a healing journey or whatever, where it's like I want all the other aspects too. It's just I took the submissive in the wrong context. Being with someone who's emotionally available, who's stable, who's there and makes a safe environment for me to express myself.
Sexually?
No.
Oh.
Just, I mean, yes, that, but just in general without having, like, repercussions. Like, if I had a different opinion, and we've already been pretty open about that, but if I had a different opinion than you, you're not going to tell me I'm wrong or I'm stupid for thinking that way. Does that make sense?
I try not to tell anyone they're stupid.
But, like...
Stupid people never think they're stupid, so you'd be a fool to tell a stupid person that they're stupid. That's a part of being stupid, is not knowing. But telling you that you're wrong, I've never found that to be effective.
Or belittling or putting down or anything.
You may feel belittled. There may be times that you feel belittled because I'm belittling you, and there may be times that you feel belittled because you've chosen to feel belittled. But that's because we're human beings and we'll both make mistakes, and I think that we can work through that as evolved people. I think that that'll be the smaller part of the experience. And history is a teacher, and I would guess, thus far, I don't think we've had any major disagreements. And I try to be
this miscommunication on my end.
Which is very good that you can admit to folly, because that's very difficult, actually.
I don't know, I just feel like this is different.
But the psychological things around, what do I mean when I'm saying something? What do you gather when I'm saying something? Why do you gather what you gather? How do you perceive me? Why do you perceive me this way? Can you get with my program? You've been on your own program a long time. So those are the more important things to me. We have to figure out what's important to you and then see if there's alignment, because for the most part, I try to be flexible, but in terms of 100% submission, there's no other way. There's only one right way. There is so much freedom, relaxation, and beauty in being led by a good leader. I know you're not big into partner dancing, but
Do you mean literally?
ballroom dancing.
I
Right.
haven't done it, but
The best woman to dance with is like a blade of grass. When the wind blows this way, flexes. When the wind blows the other way, flexes the other way. It's very light. It's like she's weightless. That's the best woman to dance with. It's like you can do whatever you want. She's still who she is, and she's responding. The worst woman to dance with is like it's like an anchored ship. It's not going anywhere. You're trying to move it in this direction, move it in that direction. It's not going anywhere. It's stiff. It's hard, inflexible. That's the worst woman to dance with. The irony is that they're both trying to do the same thing, which is to follow you, because it's a ballroom dance and there's only one leader. They're both trying to follow you, but one does it with great flexibility and responsiveness. The other one does it slow and stiff and inflexibly. They're both trying to do the same thing. So the question is like, which side of it are you on? The one that's flexible, the reason she can be flexible is because she's like, this guy knows what he's doing. When I dance with women, I'm not a great dancer, by the way. I'm a great leader, but I'm not a great dancer. For the record, I'm fucking up the good stereotypes on black people. But women will generally say, you're a great lead because your lead is very gentle. Some guys jerk the woman around. She says, your lead is very gentle, but it's clear. I always know what you want me to do. And that is the key. You can be gentle, but it's clear, meaning it's strong. They know where I'm going. Jerking the woman around, that's not good leadership. So I say that to say, when you're watching the dance and it looks gorgeous and it looks beautiful and it looks sensual and it looks like they're one, that's when the guy is leading well. He's gentle, he's clear. The woman is following well, and the only reason she follows well is because she knows he's a great leader and she's completely submitted. That's why she's light. Because she said, any way you want to push me, I'm going that way. She has trust. You can only be light when you have trust. If you don't have trust and you're worried, you're trying to keep your balance so you don't fall, you're going to be heavy because you're trying to keep your weight on your feet. Those people don't have trust. So the trust is everything. But the trust isn't just because I'm a great leader and just because of who I am. The trust is also internal with you. It's not only based on who I am, it's also based on who you are. And so that's just what I'm trying to get to, is when you can have that trust. And truth be told, even if we burn this whole thing down and fuck it up, it's much better to fuck it up big and fuck it up strong. Like, let's trust and fuck it up that way. I'd much rather would do that than you be untrusting and you're heavy and it's hard to move around and we're both struggling and then we fuck it up. Like, I don't want to feel pain the whole way and then fuck it up. I'd rather have smoothness and fuck it up smooth if it's going to get fucked up. You see what I'm saying? Excuse the French.
I feel safe with you.
Well, you're not safe.
Stop it. But it's like,
I'm sorry.
like I can breathe. Like I don't.
Here, put this mask on.
No. Does that make sense?
So far, yeah. Tell me more.
There's an emotional safety there that is like calming.
Where do you think that comes from? I'm kind of on the other side now, because before I was kind of asking like, well, what's up with the lack of trust and flow? And now I'm asking like, okay, so you said there's like a level of comfort. Where does that come from?
Well, and especially now, because I don't feel hesitant to not share anything, because I forced myself to do something that I was afraid to do. I was like, I have to do this. Whether it completely bombs or whatever happens, I still have to do this. And one, it was just the right thing to do. But I think because, like, I value you as a person, and being honest was more important to me than not.
Those are all good things. And ironically, the trust or comfort, what have you, increased with you being trustworthy. So it's like you had things that you were holding in that you let out, which is you increasing your trustworthiness, and that somehow gave me more trustworthiness. To find a good man is hard to do, very rare. Some women wouldn't recognize a good man if they met one. Most don't meet one. And I think it's worth doing everything you can to secure any part of a good man. Yeah, I say that to say that I'm a true believer that full submission is like worthwhile if you have someone who's worth submitting to. Like, I don't like just tell people randomly, yeah, go submit to a guy. No, most guys are not worth that. But if you want something good, you have to go all in. So I don't say submit to me because I think I'm cooler. I think it's fun. I say it because if you have a great passion in life, you should submit to that. So if you want to do Kundalini, yeah, do 16 hours on the mat. Like, let's get it. Like, really go in. Like, let's not play with it. And that's the way I think things should generally be pursued, pretty earnestly, but without fear. When you have high levels of fear, emotions begin to cloud you. I say a simple thing like submit, and you have fear, which fear wears many disguises. I didn't understand, I'm confused, I'm anxious, I'm worried, I'm angry. All disguises that fear has, and the question is like, where does the fear come from? But when you have that negative emotion, it will cause problems. So certainly we have to be able to unpack that to get to the good stuff, because they say all the good things are on the other side of fear. And also be invested in giving, knowing that you get out what you put in. And always thinking from an abundance mindset, like you have an infinite amount to give. So that's really where I would like to start things, which is you have an infinite amount to give. Give everything that you can, and the more you give, the more you get out. Anyways, shall we get you home? All right, let's get